So the headline, this was in The Verge, and it said, IRS will finally let most Americans file taxes online next year.
Yes.
And I was like, what is this? And no, it has nothing to do with like real
Filing your
online
taxes.
filing. Okay. So the real article is a different article. This is again, people
got
like
the
to
headline
frame the
wrong.
IRS in weird ways.
They got the headline wrong. The real story is IRS is going paperless.
Exactly. It's going paperless.
Yeah.
And then they have this sounds like a real deal plan with real deadlines now, like end of 2024, end of 2025, end of 2026, like where things are going to be. The only thing that worries me is like looking at a lot of these numbers. The IRS is estimating that 94% of individual taxpayers will no longer need to send mail. Except for it says, however, taxpayers who wish to submit paper returns and correspondence continue to do so. Hence, we live in a country where there's still billions and trillions of dollars running around on paper checks. You have the option to not use them, and people use them all the time. That's going to be the shame here, I think.
I do like that they're keeping the option of letting people file on paper. And the reason is that Americans hate to be forced to do anything.
Yes.
Okay? This is the culture. So you have to understand that. And this is why, COVID mandates and mask mandates and vaccines failed, because nobody in America wants to be told what to do. Okay. So you got to give people the option and encourage them to do it and make it easier and better. And so I think Yellen's doing great with that, right? Because this was Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen who said this, right? And they're going to go paperless by 2025. That's the goal, the 2025 tax season. So in 2026, you should be able to do everything paperless. That's going to be great because there's still so many forms you have to file on paper. And that's the problem for tax shops and firms is like, you got to have an office because you got to be able to like send out this paper mail and get it back and all that. You might be able to truly go paperless.
I've had to file returns paper because I missed the electronic filing deadline, which is silly. They just turn the computer off and then I had to print it and mail it. It doesn't make any sense. But she has a nice quote, though. She says, by filing season 2025, the IRS is committing to digitally process 100% of tax information and returns that are submitted by paper, as well as half of all paper correspondence, non-tax forms, and notices will also be digitized.
So does this mean the IRS is still going to mail correspondence? Or are they going to somehow do that digitally too? Will it all be through a portal? Because that would be amazing.
So they talk about by filing season 2026, everything's going to be processed digitally. Up to 1 billion historical documents will be digitized, giving taxpayers access to their data and saving the agency about $40 million in storage costs a year.
That's amazing. $40 million to store paper every year.
Paper every year.
So I'm curious, does this mean correspondence will be online? Because right, if they're going to go paperless, they have to do that. All those notices that get mailed out to people, they got to have a way to send those on a portal or via secure email or something.
Or an app. So we were at the NAEA conference this week, right? And the IRS was there. And I would call it the IRS, an innovation team of the IRS. And they had this little mobile app. And the way this mobile app would work is it's kind of like a souped up FAQ app. So I could take my 1040, I could take a photo of it, and then it scans whatever doc I'm looking at, and it provides help files on every line of that form. So I can click on it, and in theory, it's going to bring me up. Now, it doesn't do chat. It doesn't pull up my records yet, but they're building a beautiful, easy way to interact with the IRS. Is kind of the way I could summarize that. It's not ready for beta testers. They wouldn't let me take a photo of it or film it or anything like that. I asked, trust me. I was like, I would love to find out more about this, to see this. But so the IRS is on the march, right? They're on the march, which is good to see.